For the Lone Star Conference and for the Basketball Online Media Day, I'm Grant Boone here with women's basketball coach at Abilene Christian, Julie Goodenough. Coach, your first year here at ACU. Tell us a little bit about the assimilation process for you and your coaches getting into a new university here.
Well, you know, taking over a new program, you know, going into it that there's going to be probably different terminology used. The players are used to doing things a certain way, and there's just going to be a lot of teaching. And I guess the first 2 or 3 weeks of individual skill workouts, there was a lot of talking on the coach's part, just trying to teach things, teach our way of doing things, teach new drills. But our players have been just a real joy to coach. They've been real coachable. They've responded really well. We are doing a lot of things that I think are new to them, a little bit foreign, but you know, we have had great effort in practice, lots of hard work, and I think just now they are starting to see a few things come together, and we're having some little successes in practice, and of course that's what encourages them to continue doing those behaviors over and over. But I think that we're probably where I thought we would be right now. We've got a scrimmage coming up pretty soon, and that'll be a good measuring tool for us, but it's been a good process and a good few weeks of practice.
Well, just for folks watching, they may not know, you played collegiately here in Abilene over at Hardin-Simmons. You then coached on the Division I level at Oklahoma State. You come from the last few years at Charleston Southern. So as you look at yourself and you do a little bit of a retrospective on your career, how have you grown as a coach, and what do you bring to this new role at ACU?
Well, my first coaching job was at Hardin-Simmons, and you know, just coaching there, I learned a lot from the coaches in the athletic department actually at Hardin-Simmons, and learned a lot of philosophy from Jimmy Keeling, who was the head football coach the whole time I was there. I learned a lot from Marcia Sharp, who was the head coach at Texas Tech when I first started coaching. Jody Conrad from the University of Texas. Those were kind of the 3 coaches that I tried to mimic in just their philosophy. Coach Sharp and Coach Conrad. I stole a lot of plays and defensive strategies and things like that from them. And
you're not the only one.
Oh, I know. You know, at no reason to reinvent the wheel. You know, learn from some of the best, and that's what I felt like, you know, I did in my early years at Hardin-Simmons. And then, you know, when I moved to Oklahoma State, I had the opportunity to coach against people like Marcia Sharp and Jody Conrad, and so, you know, to be able to just scout them and prepare to play against great coaches and great teams like that night after night, I think really challenged me as a coach and helped me to get better. Just, you know, all the work that you have to put into preparing for every game. And then the past 6 years I've been at Charleston Southern, great mid-major Division I league, had awesome players out there, played in a very competitive Division I conference, again another conference with some really great coaches that challenge you as a coach, you know, to figure out what can we do to be successful on a nightly basis. So, you know, my coaching career I think has really evolved a lot through just, you know, the coaches in the leagues I've had to compete against, and trying to figure out how to be successful against them. And, you know, I think the more you're challenged just as a person in all areas of your life, you know, that's what really stretches you and helps you become the very best at whatever you're doing. And I've been really blessed to have to, you know, coach against some really top-notch coaches, and that's helped me, I think, develop as a coach. And I'm a long way from being where I need to be, but I feel like, you know, just the places I've been have really helped me and have prepared me for, I think, what the task at hand is here.
As we talk about your team this year, let's start with Charleston Southern, because you brought one of your players from there with you here. Tell us about Shannon.
I did. I think about it every. No, I'm just kidding. No, she's an awesome young lady, hard worker, probably physically the strongest player that we have on the team, and I think she has helped some of the girls maybe understand our intensity and just the level that we want them to practice at every day. And she's still learning a lot too, but I think she's helped to kind of set the tempo as far as work ethic, and that's been good, so that you know, the players kind of understand by watching her example. So she's a really nice player, combo guard for us. She played 1 and 2 for us at Charleston Southern, and we'll do that here. So she's a nice player. I wish, you know, I hope that she will continue developing and continue being an example for the other players.
All right, so that's Shannon Sanderson. So let's talk about some of the players who are coming back that a lot of folks in the Lone Star Conference will know, starting with the player who led the league in scoring going away last year, and that's Mackenzie Langford.
Mackenzie is she's just a pure shooter, and I think with our style of play, she's going to be able to get those open looks like she did last year. We hope to take the ball out of her hands a little bit more this year. I think she played a lot of point guard last year, and we'd like for her just to be able to come off screens more and create opportunities for her to score a little bit more without her having to have the ball in her hands and do that by herself. But just a great pure shooter. Would like for her to be more of a vocal leader for us this year. And, I've talked to her about that, and she understands that needs to be, more of a role for her. But, really good leader for us, especially on the offensive end.
And she was telling me just not too long ago that she was really happy when you said, I want you to shoot more in my system.
Absolutely. I don't think she shot enough three-pointers last year. And as a team, the team definitely did not even touch the tip of the iceberg with shooting three-pointers like we would like to this year. And I think with our style of play, we'll be able to get a few more open looks. But yeah, I'd like to see her shoot the ball a lot more than she did.
Well, when I look at a player like Kelsey Smith, senior from Coppell, who in the last couple of seasons, her 2 years at ACU, almost 700 points, almost 450 rebounds. It would seem when you add someone like Ray Marquez at a forward spot, Mackenzie Langford, you got a couple of good young guards coming in as freshmen, then you add Shannon. It would seem that you have all of the pieces in place to have a solid team.
I think so, and the other player to add with that mix is Paige Parliament, who played a lot last year. And those players, all of them have a lot of playing experience, and we're going to rely a lot on like Kelsey and Mackenzie because they've played so many minutes in the Lone Star Conference. They know what it takes to be successful in their positions, especially. Kelsey, I would think, should be considered one of the top post players in the league. Very good rebounder. She's a good scorer. We'd like for her to get a few more touches and get more shots off as well. But really, really nice player. And Renata Marquez, she kind of scores from everywhere. Really nice slasher. She can play a couple of different positions for us, which is really nice. Another really good scorer. Paige Parliament, I've told her she's got the red light or the green light to shoot three-point shots, and she's really excited about that. She's a great shooter. She looks effortless from the three-point line, and so hopefully that will kind of open her game up a little bit more as well.
Dirk Nowitzki, maybe no one can block the shot when you got a 6-footer launching threes. So last thing, Coach, and I would direct folks to acusports.com to check this out. You have a basketball blog that you have some of the players contributing to. It allowed you to show what they did during the summer, and there were some cool stories there. Tell me a little bit about what you're trying to do with this team off the court and how you want to round them into young women beyond just players.
Well, our coaching staff is very serious about our obligation to help them develop as basketball players, but also academically, socially, spiritually. We want to see them grow in all areas of their life, and we're trying to give them a lot of responsibility, number one. And in those blogs, those were like assignments for them. They had to write those, they had to prepare the material, and we're trying to give them a lot of responsibility just to help them grow, help them be more accountable to their teammates. We really, as a team, want to get out in the community more. We want the community to get to know these players, and I've had a lot of feedback back from those blogs. People talking to me about, oh, that's so cool, the trip this person took, or it was really neat to learn a little bit more about the new players. And we want to get out in the community, but by sharing that information on our website, I think people that support ACU athletics now have learned a little bit about maybe some of our new players that they don't know anything about, and even about some of the returning players, just to get a little insight on them off the court.
Well, the season gets started very soon. First-year women's basketball coach Julie Goodenough of Abilene Christian for Lone Star Conference Online Media Day. I'm Grant Boone.